TorrentContent.com. Torrents. Lightning fast enlightenment.
It begs, well, if the first major fuck-up that got us kicked out of the garden was a divorce or a bad relationship, it would have to be repaired in what the Bible calls the last Adam. So that means that Jesus Christ, or Yeshua, had to get married with a co-equal female to restore the balance. That's why you see Mary Magdalene pop up.
But then they turned her into a prostitute. Yeah. And all these other things where it's like, I mean, it really, those are the things that then bring up that.
Okay, well.
Yeah, like that's wrong.
Well, when you get to, I mean, I would agree that she was a prostitute, but according to what the non-commodity library would suggest is the Christ in that instance is a male and a female. It has to be, okay? And that they were, now you hear the concept of what's called a twin flame, okay, if you've heard this going around lately. I
have. I mean, okay. I have opinions about that, but
yeah. We all do. But take that concept and apply it to what the non-commodity library says, which is that one of the two would be born to privilege, wealthy, but not spiritually minded. Okay, and then vice versa. One would be born, Mary Magdalene, according to the non-commodity library, was born to royalty, very wealthy. Okay, she had a natural inclination to spirituality within her, but it wasn't something that was nurtured. Okay, Christ, on the other hand, even though he was royalty, okay, was born to a very humble family with seemingly no resources, but he was spiritual from the beginning, and that was nurtured. So the two start off at polarity, two polar opposites, and their journey towards one another is a balancing out of all those aspects within one another, like a lock and a key. And according to Gnosticism and the Gnostic text, Mary was set up with an arranged marriage. He was very abusive, and as a result, I believe he ended up getting killed, or she killed him. And so she was, by an opposing tribe, she was taken in as a slave into prostitution. Okay. Her and her maidens were brought into prostitution. It wasn't like they had a choice.
Right. So basically they were like sex trafficked slaves.
Right. And as a result, because anybody who knows anything about tantric sex, you better be careful where you stick your wiener. You will adopt the personality traits and the vibration of sexual partners, okay?
And a lot of people don't realize that, and especially young boys
that
are going around putting it and dipping it everywhere. Mm-hmm. They don't realize, and women don't realize, young women that are allowing a lot of men to enter them, every time you are taking on a piece of their DNA. Every time.
And
so you have to think about that.
Right. And so as a result of this prostitution, this forced prostitution, the non-commodity library describes Mary Magdalene as being possessed with 7 devils. Okay. One for every chakra. All right. And she has a vision of Yeshua preaching and teaching in the land of Israel, and she begins a journey to meet him there. Okay. She travels to Israel because she's given a vision that she's going to meet this great wise man who is chosen by God, who is going to help her. And then the biblical narrative picks up with her about to be stoned, and you see Yeshua writing in the sand, and he punks out all the Sanhedrin who are trying to get her stoned. And then you don't hear about what happens next, but according to the Gnostic text, what happens next is after he saves her life, he takes her into the wilderness and exorcises the 7 demons. Okay, he exorcises those 7 demons, and just like Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, his 7 vices had to be turned into 7 virtues. And in the Bhagavad Gita and Hindu beliefs, the goddess Kali Ma entered into physical incarnation as Kali to put her foot on Krishna's throat with force to make him come to realization of his own godhood and turn all of his vices into virtues. So you have the same. Krishna and Kali Ma are the same incarnation as Christ and Mary Magdalene, but they switch roles, okay? In that lifetime, the feminine had to bring, through pressure and persecution, Krishna to godhood so that he could become Shiva. Then when you flip it to Christ, they switched roles. It was a part of their soul contract that the feminine said, this time you get to save me. Okay? This time you're going to elevate me to goddesshood. And so Christ takes her into the wilderness and he exorcises the 7 demons. Now, it is heavily inferred, and I believe it, and this is where Gnostics get a lot of bad labels, like Gnosticism is a sex cult, okay, is that the manner in which Christ exorcised the demons was through tantric sex, okay? I believe that, and I believe that's when he made her his wife. Okay.
Yeah.
Because just like you can unconsciously take on the negative and positive traits too of a sexual partner, if you're very, very conscious of it, and you and your partner know what the fuck you're doing, okay, you can transmute things in any manner that you wish.